This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Classified series Wendell A. Leatherneck Metzger figure. On the side, we get some nice artwork of him. Actually, and to be honest, if you see the original card that he came with, this looks better because on the card from the 80s, he kind of looks like Captain Kangaroo. Many of you might not get that reference. Look it up. On the other side, we just see some, the usual stuff that we got. And on the back, we have the product shot. Looks like dial tone is in the background, and I think that's supposed to be the Cobra Techno back there. We get a little extra detailing here on his collar and on his sleeve. He kind of looks like the guy from Tremors in this picture. You know who I'm talking about, right? He's in all the Tremors movies. And I cannot believe I am blanking out on his name right now. I can't even think of the actor's name right now. That's sad. But yeah, that's who he kind of looks like right there. Let's go ahead and open this sucker up. Michael Gross, by the way, is the name of the actor now that I think about it. But why can't I think of the character's name? There's actually even a song about him, and I'll have to put a link to that in the descriptions, because it's on YouTube. It's pretty funny. It's just driving me nuts that I cannot remember what the character's name is. But he always wore a Cubs baseball cap also, all the time. So our equipment that comes with Leatherneck is a pair of shooting glasses, a combat knife, a rifle. I'm not sure what type this is or if it's actually a real one. The magazine does come out. Solid backpack that has no attachment spots for anything. We have a pistol here. Does not look like a pistol that I've seen in real life. Jeez. And it has a slight extended clip to it. Obviously, that will go into the holster on the side here. I find it kind of interesting, though, that it looks like he's got a CB set up here, it looks like. I don't know what that's for. But yeah, it looks like he's got a walkie-talkie handheld here. So I'm not sure why, when they've actually given us kind of those on their own, they didn't do that with him and just have that be a holster. The knife goes up into his vest sheath there like that. His hat comes off, and he's got kind of a terrible hairdo when you get right down to it. His face sculpt looks a bit better than that Captain Kangaroo thing. Still kind of looks like the guy from Tremors, though. Especially with the hat on, although he's got way more hair than that dude has. I wish I could remember the name of the character now. If you know it, please say it in the comments below. Especially if you can remember it before I find it out at the end of the video here. The shooting glasses actually go on pretty well. I was not expecting that. I feel like most of the time when they come with a separate glasses, they really don't go in position and stay on particularly well, but these ones are actually doing it. I am stunned. Articulation-wise, now let's just take the hat off, get out of the way. We do have the chicken neck thing going on here. He does not have a hinge in there. Actually, hold on. He's actually got 5 o'clock shadow on his neck. And his face, obviously. That's a bit of detail that you don't expect. But yeah, we got a ball joint here. We can spin his head around. His neck also spins a little separately, which is not a good thing, in my opinion, at the moment. He has an ab crunch. Arms hinge up and down. There is a butterfly joint. It's one of the smaller ones. We do have a bicep cut. Ow. Double jointed elbow here, if I can get both of them to move. Ugh. He has some kind of medical bracelet thing, or bracelet on him that does not, it's not a solid round piece, by the way, so that will pop off, I'm sure, if you look at it funny. But yeah, again, double jointed elbow, spin at the wrist, the up and down hinge on the hand. We do have the waist articulation on a ball joint so we can wobble him. Drop down hips. Torso, thigh cut. So we can spin that leg all around. We can kick out very far. Surprisingly, the belt and the harnesses and sheaths and everything don't get in the way. We can kick forward. And we can kick back. Seriously, I was expecting this to hinder that movement on that leg quite a bit, and it is not hindering it at all. Ouch. Oh my gosh. Double jointed knee. Hinge at the ankle. And a spin. He does not have a boot cut, but he has an ankle cut, so you can spin that part around as well as the actual shoe. And the bracelet came off as expected. Honestly, I would much rather have seen that be a full solid piece than cut open like this, because again, it's going to come off, and I don't like that. That makes it a very easy part to lose. And it came off again while I was putting the gun in his hand. Honestly, it almost feels like it's malforming itself right now. Okay. I do not have an original Leatherneck figure to compare him to. He does come with a pair of fists also. Not bad. The overall look, though, I think is pretty good. Still, he looks kind of sad when you look at his face. Like, and I mean sad as in sad, you know, not like sad as in pathetic. Just like he's having a bad day. Probably, honestly, because his buddy Wetsuit was not released in the same wave as him, which I feel like they should have done. However, again, since this is based on a character from the 80s, we do in fact have our file card. Codename Leatherneck, Marine. File name, Metzger, Wendell A. SN number. Primary military specialty is infantry. Secondary military specialty is drill sergeant. Birthplace, Stromsburg, Nebraska. Grade, gunnery sergeant. So he was the drill instructor. I think he came out before Sergeant Slaughter was a figure. So yeah, he was the drill sergeant before Slaughter. Leatherneck was the hardest gunny that ever slogged through the mud of Camp Lejeune. Before that, he was the toughest drill sergeant on Paris Island. Before that, he was the roughest tech sergeant of the 1st Recon BN in Vietnam. Before that, he was the meanest corporal in Gitmo. Civilian badass just doesn't count. I didn't realize Gitmo was a thing back in the day, in the 80s. And I like how they specify Vietnam. Dude, you gotta remember that these characters are, you know, in the 80s, these characters had been around for like the Vietnam War and stuff, I guess. Yeah, wait, no, he shouldn't be part of the Vietnam War. I don't know. It's just, oh, 1st Recon Battalion is what that's supposed to be, not Recon BN. Why didn't they just write out battalion then? Why shorten it there? He is uncouth, opinionated, and overbearing, and he has no patience at all for the indecisive, the lazy, and the dishonest, but one you can trust. That would explain why in the series he never got along with Shipwreck. So overall in this figure, I think he looks pretty good. He definitely looks like that old sergeant, though. You know, kind of wary, world weary, however you want to put it. The figure itself looks pretty good. I don't know. I keep on thinking though that the kind of tan vest was something he didn't have in the original figure, but I don't know for sure. I'm not sure what the some symbology on his shoulder there is supposed to be, but he does have his you know, brass there on his collar, or whatever you want to call the whatever. You know, I have no idea what those are actually called. The flaps, which is funny because I do have shirts like that too, mostly Hawaiian shirts. He does have a separate watch here also that is a separate piece where it does go all the way around his wrist so it doesn't come off. That's good. That's what they should have done with that stupid bracelet. I think he's a pretty good figure. I do, again, believe they should have put him out at the same time as Wetsuit, since, at least in the cartoon show, while, let's be honest, they were probably really good friends. They definitely had an adversarial quality with the whole Marines versus Navy thing. But it made for a lot of fun conversations and scenes between the two of them, as they always kind of competed against each other to say what part of the service was the better one. But let me know what you guys think here in the comments below. Do you kind of agree with me that they should have put Wetsuit out at the same time as Leatherneck? If you did enjoy this look at our Leatherneck figure, please feel free to blast that like button. And if you want to see more of my nonsense, please feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Peace and love. Burt Gummer, my friends. Burt Gummer is the name of Michael Gross's character in Tremors, and that's who he kind of reminds me of. Burt Gummer.